Okay. Hi. Happy Holi for everyone. Good evening. We'll start the session now. So, new topic automation testing, right? Automation testing with the Selenium tool we are going to learn. So, manual testing means it's very simple. We have to identify the scenarios, test cases, so execution, reporting. After you got the modified build, try to do the retesting and regression testing. These are the common activities which we are going to do during the manual testing. If I go for the automation testing, if suppose my interview is going to ask the question like this, if I give a chance to you to work on manual testing or automation test, I have two projects. One project is on manual testing, other project is on automation testing. If I given a chance to you to go for this project, which one do you prefer? Which one do you prefer? Whether you are going to prefer the manual testing project or automation testing project? That is the question if they ask you. Then what is the answer for you? Can you give the answer in the chat box? If they ask you, yes, Sampadarav, yes, exactly. Because see, a manual testing means there is no challenges to you. There is nothing is to show your skill set. If you go for the automation testing, there are more challenges for you where you can able to no depends on requirements you can't say. What I'm asking Divya, if I given a chance to you to work on a manual testing project, automation testing, which project do you going to prefer? So you have to prefer automation testing project. That means as a lead, I want to know that are you ready to take the challenges in my company? They decided one project is completely manual, one project is automation testing. Then they are asking that because automation testing we have the more challenges. So you have to prove yourself with automation testing. So automation testing means we have the various tools. Which tool we can go for learning? So which tool is more demand is there in the present scenario? That one you have to learn. There's no second thought on that. Today at the market demand is Selenium tool. So we have to run the Selenium. Generally, I given the one training on almost 4 years back. I given one training. Almost the person who came to the offline class at that time before lockdown. So who came to the offline class? So age is going to be around 68. I surprised by seeing the class. The first row is sitting. I by seeing that class, I surprised. I got some curiosity. Why at this age you want to learn the testing? I asked him, why sir? Why you want after class is completed? I asked him, sir, why sir do you want to learn this course at this age? That's my curiosity. I asked him. Then he said, it is, sir, I went in 1975 in a years at that time. So I am the compiler designer. I know how to design compiler. But in the long last 10 years, I'm hearing so software testing, software testing, software testing. I have some curiosity what it is testing. My career is going to be horizontal, not in vertical, he said it is. Career growth is horizontal, not vertical. So what is the meaning of that? He's saying different technologies is learning, you're doing the job it is. So in India, generally what we are going to, if you join as a test engineer, no other courses we should not learn. Testing, test lead, go to test manager, then relax. We feel like that most of the Indian psychology is going to be like that. So he said it is what he said. My career growth is not in vertical. My career growth is in horizontal. So that means different technologies I'm learning. Now I'm hearing everywhere testing, testing, more demanding. That's what I want to learn. I want to see it is how this testing is going to be. So like that. So that is the we are also should be like that. Tomorrow there's another tool is coming after 3 years. Means you should be ready to learn. That's what IT related courses or jobs means every day to day updations are required. You should not be stick with the one tool only. I worked on WinRunner. I worked on the QTP. I worked on Selenium Python, Selenium Java, different tools. WinRunner, so QTP. So remember, I will tell you one thing. In Amirpet market, QTP, in the beginning days, I am the faculty who introduced QTP training in Amirpet market. So I have the more than 15 to 18 years of experience in QTP. So also I explain it is the QTP classes. Okay. So there's a my last QTP recording session I posted in my YouTube channel. Still I'm going to get some calls who have the requirement on QTP. So are you going to protect? I said I am not going to give any training for that. Try to watch my YouTube channel, update yourself. Okay. Now so you have to like that, but you should be so new technology coming. So means I'm not saying that go for the development set, testing set, different tools are coming. You have to adopt the tools. You have to learn the tools it is. That's what we have to do. Okay. Then on more demanding is going to be there for you. Now we are going to discuss about the selenium introduction today. Okay, selenium introduction. So when you talk about the selenium, sir, what is this selenium? Whenever you are going to search for the selenium, you are going to find this. This is the first point you are going to find. It is a free tool or open source tool. Such a way they are going to say it is. So it is a free tool or open source tool. But what I am saying that not or it is, you have to go for the and you have to say it is. That's what I'm saying. It is a free tool. It's non-commercial. No need to pay any amount. Directly from the internet, you can download, you can use for your project. You can use for your project. The second point, what I'm saying, that it is an open source tool. That means anyone can able to take the source code of the Selenium. So who are interested, they can update the Selenium. They can update the Selenium tool it is. As a developer, they can take the source code. They can upgrade the Selenium. Anyone can access the source code. Now see that the official website for the Selenium is like this. This is the selenium.dev. The official website. Downloads when I go. See, ma, they have given the entire Selenium source code from the GitHub repository. You can download, you can use it is for your project. If you want to use the Selenium, you want to update it, you can do it. They're saying it is. So you can download it. That's what open source means. Okay. That is the free tool. It is an open source tool. Next point, it is used to perform functionality and regression testing. It is used to perform functionality and regression. That means what type of activities we can do with the help of the Selenium. We can do functionality testing and regression testing. Functional testing and regression testing. It supports only web-based applications to automate. It supports only web-based applications to automate. That is a browser automation tool. It is a browser automation tool. Only web-based applications. Okay. Next point. It supports cross-browser tests. Sir, web-based application, okay. Which browsers? Almost all the browsers supports, such as Firefox browser, Chrome browser, IE browser, Edge browser, Opera browser, Safari browser. These are the browsers it going to support. See my here. Officially they said it which browsers it supports. It supports the Firefox, IE browser, Safari browser, Opera browser, Chrome, as well as Edge browser supports it is. Okay. Which OS it going to support? It supports the three types of operating systems: Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. These are the three kind of operating systems this Selenium supports. Okay. But as I said, whenever you go for the manual testing, for manual testing, we have to prepare the test cases. Test cases, which language are going to prepare in plain English. But whenever you are going to the automation testing, so in this automation testing, so we need to develop the automation test script. But this automation test script, how we can able to develop here, which language we have to use. So Selenium, we have one flexibility. It supports the multiple languages. What are the languages Selenium supports? Language bindings, we are going to call it is. We have the C sharp it supports, Ruby supports, Java supports, Python, and JavaScript. These are the so five languages it supports. When I'm saying like this, some students have the doubt. So okay, it supports C sharp. So that means if I'm going to test the C sharp related project, the technology which is C sharp internally, I have to use the C sharp. Suppose I want to test the Ruby technology application, I need to go for the Ruby in Selenium also. So that is not correct. Application can be developed in any technology. If it is a web-based application, you can use either one of these languages to develop the automation test script. See, Java is different, JavaScript is different. Okay, Java is different and JavaScript is different. But majority of the projects they are going to use the combination called Selenium with Java combination they are going to use. Selenium with Java combination where they are going to use. Now see my here. It is a free tool. It is an open source tool. It is used to perform functionality and regression testing. It supports only web-based applications to automate. There is a browser automation tool. So it supports for cross-browser testing. That means multiple browsers. One time we give the efforts by doing little bit of modification, we can able to execute our test script on different browsers. Then different operating systems. Whereas Selenium support the different languages to develop the automation test script, such as you can use Java or you can use Python or Ruby, C Sharp, JavaScript. Earlier, it supported parallel script also. At that time, it is not supported JavaScript. So what they did here, instead of parallel script, they given the JavaScript here. So now, can we do the mobile application testing? No, because if I go for them, so Selenium only not sufficient. I need to use another tool called AppM tool we have to use for automation, mobile application testing. Mobile application testing, Selenium plus AppM tool. Both the tools we have to use for automation testing. But when you talk about the Selenium, Selenium is not one tool, it is. Selenium is a suite of tools. What is that? Selenium is a suite of tools. That means various components are there in the Selenium. What are the components are there? Let me go. If you go for the home page of the Selenium, you can see here there are three components are visible. One is called Selenium WebDriver. Second one is Selenium IDE. Third one is Selenium Grid. These are the three components are there. Selenium WebDriver, Selenium IDE, then Selenium Grid. We have the These are the different components are there. Okay. There is a Selenium is suite of tools. Like given various components. But in present, which one we are going to prefer? Selenium WebDriver we are going to prefer. We do prefer the Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver we are going to prefer. Okay. Now see, Selenium is a suite of tools. There are different components are there. So what are the various components are there in Selenium? Means we have Selenium IDE is there. We have Selenium IDE. So Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, then Selenium Grid. These are the four components are there. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, then Selenium Grid. These are the four components. Initially they have. Okay. Now, first one if I go for Selenium IDE. What is the meaning of IDE? IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. Okay. So it is a plugin for Firefox, Chrome, and Edge browsers. Directly we can't install it. Is saying that as a plugin, as an extension, they given the Selenium IDE. But how it is going to work means Selenium supports the record and playback. Selenium supports the record and playback it is. So what is the meaning of record and playback? Just observe here. Assume that this is the Selenium ID. This is Selenium ID. This is the one. My application under test. AUT. Suppose here I have the different components. I have the different components. In this, I have the various components like this. Now I done some operations here. So now in the Selenium IDE, there is a one component here. Record, we are going to call it. This is a record component is there. Now when you click on the record here, when I click on the record button, so if I do any operation in my application, by default what happens, whichever operations I do on my application, those operations, it is able to convert into the automation test script. Some script is going to be generated to me here. No need to write the script here. Whatever operations I do on my application, by default, those operations are going to be converted into the automation test script. The automation test script we are going to call automation test script. So whenever it going to generate like this is called recording, converting our actions or operations into the automation test script. That is called recording we are going to call. Converting our actions or operations into the automation test script is called recording. Same way, there is a one play button is there here. There is a run button is there. So run button is there. Now, if you go for the run, that means if you execute your script, whatever is generated. Now what happens here? This tool will go and perform the operation in the application. This is called playback we are going to call. Playback means for recording time, whichever operations you performed, same operations, it will go into playback on your application. There is a record and playback, converting our actions or operations into the automation test script. This is called playback we are going to call. Okay. Now let me show it is how it is going to work. Schema here. I will go for the one application here like this. If I go for this application, here I want to do the login operation. Okay, I want to login operation. This operation I want to convert into the automation test script with help of the Selenium IDE. So how I can do it is, hmm, let me copy it is. Now see, as an extension I already installed for my Chrome browser. There is a Selenium IDE. It is the icon is there. The extensions we are going to put Selenium IDE. I'm going to open it is. So create new project. Remote testing. Click on OK. Okay. See, I'm going to close the browser also. I'm closing browsers. Now, I want to create the new test. I want to create the new test. How do you go for that? There is a new test button, add new test. What is the test case name? Mercury tools login test. The test name I give. Click on add. Now observe here there is a record button. You have the record button. I click on record button. When I click on record button, it asking that. So can you give the application URL for which application operations do you want to record? It is asking that. Which application operations do you want to record? Now I'm going to enter the application URL. Just start recording button. See that Selenium ID opened the application. New browser is open in that. Here it is showing that I am in recording state. Okay. Now this is the area script is going to generate. I'm going to enter the username as a Mercury, then password as Mercury. Then I'm going to click on the submit. See, my operation is converted into the automation test script. This is called recording. What is the meaning of recording? Converting our actions or operations into the automation test script. Into the automation test script. That is called recording we are going to call. Converting our actions or operations into automation test script is called recording. Okay, that is the recording we are going to see. After this, recording is done. Now there is a play button, very fast go to I want to set some slow. There is a play button. You observe my if I run it is. I'm executing my program here. It will go into open the application again in that browser. login operation completed. Who done login operation here? My tool is complete login operation. My tool is done login operation here. That is what the record and playback is. Understand here recording, converting our actions or operations which we perform on AUT into the automation test script. So converting our actions or operations which we perform AUT into the automation test script. That is called recording. We are going to call that is called recording. Now playback means where script execution, when tool will perform the operation on application, that is called playback we are going to call. Where script execution, when tool will perform the operation on application is called playback we are going to say. That is the so playback. But we have some limitations in the Selenium IDE. What are the limitations here? Script is not possible to parameterize. Script is not possible to parameterize. That is, passing the data to the script during runtime. Script is not possible to parameterize. Execution time. I want to give the different values from the Excel sheet. I can't do it. Is second thing, it won't create the test results in the desired format. It won't create the test results in the desired format. The script is not repeatable. That is also important. Your script is not repeatable. Like for loop, we can't use here. So, but sir, why they given? As I said earlier, the scenario is not the famous tool. QTP is the famous tool. WinRun is the famous tool. This all the tools have the recording concept. So to attract the new customers, they given the this recording concept component to show how their tool also will do the automation test. That is what the Selenium IDE they introduced. Okay. The next one we have the Selenium RC can execute test cases on different browsers. Execute so scripts on different browsers. It has many disadvantages. So one of the major disadvantages, whatever scripts you developed in Selenium RC, when you run the scripts here, it is not going to be executed successfully. When you run the script, it is not executed successfully on your application. Sometimes some scripts are not going to execute. You given a lot of efforts, but it is not able to execute your script. That is the problem we have. Major issue it is. And Selenium is not that much. Selenium RC is not that much user friendly. It is okay. It is not that much user friendly. So a lot of things we have to do configuration and execution time. We have to run the proxy server. Proxy server. This thing we have to do. It is okay. So there is a many disadvantages are there. Then we have the Selenium WebDriver. So to overcome the disadvantages which are there in the Selenium RC, they introduced Selenium WebDriver, which is alternative for the Selenium RC. Whenever they introduce Selenium WebDriver into the market, then companies are starting more on Selenium WebDriver. Previously, QTP or EFT is the famous tool. Once they introduce Selenium WebDriver, then market is so more focused on the WebDriver. Okay. Next one, Selenium Grid. What is that? No, Selenium grid. So Selenium grid, what is the purpose means here? For parallel execution. Parallel execution purpose, we are going to use Selenium grid. So what is that parallel execution? Let us understand by here. I have the test script one, then I have the test script two, then I have the test script three. Like this, I have the different automation test scripts I developed. This scripts, each one I want to execute, it will take the 20 minutes of time for me. It will take 20 minutes of time if I go for the execution of the each script. Now, what I want to minimize the execution time. For this, assume that this is my computer. So what I will do, these scripts which are there, I will going to connect the different systems. Now these scripts are developed in my system only. From my system, whatever scripts I develop, I am going to execute the on different machines randomly like this. Randomly like this. So this is what we are at a time. So three scripts in different machines I am going to execute. This is what we are going to call parallel execute. At a time, so different OS or different browsers, I can able to execute my scripts. So now instead of 60 minutes of time, within 20 minutes, I can able to complete the my execution. Right. That is called parallel execution. This is called parallel execution. That is parallel execution are going to come. What is the advantage here? Time saves cities. Okay. There is a IDE. So the four components are there. But at this moment, it is not there. We have the Selenium ID. We're never going to prefer for a project level. So whatever scripts we developed in the web drive, those scripts only we are going to execute on different machines using the Selenium grid, parallel execution. Okay. Now see my history of the Selenium. The Selenium 1.0, it was introduced by Jason Huggins. Initially, in 2004, it was introduced. So Selenium 1.0. At that time, what are the components are there? Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, then Selenium Grid or Grid 1. But here, Selenium RC, Grid 1, both are deprecated, not available, not in use. Selenium 2.0. Selenium 2.0 was introduced in 2010. It was in the 2.0 it is. Selenium IDE, then Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver or WebDriver, Remote WebDriver. Now you can observe that earlier IE browser and Edge browser they introduced. But before going to deprecate the IE browser, they maintained some 1 year, 2 years they maintained by Microsoft. Now it is not the IE browser. So because whenever new tool they introduced, so how companies are going to, so users are going to accept it. They have to see it is. So same way, when Selenium WebDriver, whenever so introduced here, RC also they maintained, but after some time they removed it is. Remote WebDriver Grid 2. This Grid 2 will support the RC scripts as well as WebDriver scripts for the parallel execution purpose. After that, they introduced Selenium 3.0. So introduced in 2010. What are the components in Selenium 3.0? Now there is no Selenium RC. Only we have the Selenium IDE. They're updating Selenium IDE. Selenium WebDriver or WebDriver. Next one we have the remote WebDriver or Grid 2. Remote WebDriver or Grid 2 we have. Okay, like this. So what is the stable version 3.141.59? So, but in present version, what is there here? Selenium 4.18.1. Sir, which version we are going to prefer to learn here? Means I will going to explain the latest version. Selenium 4.18.1 version only we are going to discuss. Selenium 4.18.1. So official website for the Selenium is selenium.dev. But old URL is seleniumhq.org. Seleniumhq.org. Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Also, we have to know it is along for Selenium. So, major advantage, it is a free tool. No need to buy any license. Directly, we can use it is. Directly, we can use it is. Supports multiple programming languages. No other tool, even the licensed tools are there, commercial tools. Those tools are not going to support this many languages. So supports multiple programming languages to develop the automation test scripts. Supports multiple browsers. Can execute test cases in parallel, even though Qtip is not going to support the parallel execution directly. Selenium supports. Tosca also not supports for parallel execution. Okay. The disadvantages here. So supports only web-based application. We can't go for the okay disadvantages. Supports only web-based applications. Programming skills are mandatory. Selenium, when you are going to use, you have to know the Java. Which language and Java is Java. Then the core Java knowledge is required. That's what I'm going to explain the core Java concepts to you. Without having that one, you can't develop the script. Everything Selenium IDE is going to be support record and playback. But which one we are going to use in present in company level Selenium WebDriver? WebDriver you want to use means recording is not there. We have to write the script manually. So the program skills are mandatory. So no user friendly. That means it is not one file to go for setup and to use it is. So we have to go for the so different files we have to download from the different resources and all together we have to combine. That's what the configuration we have to do it is. But If you got any problem while working with the Selenium, no one is going to provide the immediate solution to you. We have to. So no one is responsible. Suppose you buy China mobile, how long it going to run smoothly? You can use it is. If you got any problem, what they are going to say here, mechanic also. So not possible, throw away it is they're going to say. Such a way it is. No official support is available. It won't generate the reports by default. Once exit completed, my tool is not going to generate the reports by default. So it would support the Node.js, React.js, and Flex technologies also. It won't support these. That's what they're saying it is. Flex technologies, it won't support. So the advantage and disadvantage, sir, when you compare to the advantage, disadvantage, advantages is less points are there, disadvantages more points are given is. But here, all these points you want to overcome. It is a free tool, no need to buy the license. If suppose QTP you want to buy the license, no, you have to pay them. So around 1.5 lakhs for one computer purpose. Earlier, you know, so EFT one seat license cost is going to be around 5 lakhs it is. Due to competition of the Selenium, they reduced cost to the 1.5 lakhs only it is. They reduced cost to the 1.5 lakh. That much cost going to takes. So next we have the web driver. How we can go for the web driver? Tomorrow, what I will do, tomorrow I will give some introduction to the web driver, and also I will going to explain to you how we have to configure the web driver setup in our computers. Okay. So I think who are joined for the Selenium today is the last session for the free session. So for tomorrow session, you have to go for the registration, I think. So there's a fees paid details they given here in the chat box, Zoom online meet. Okay. So everything will be explained in detailed way. And already some of you joined for the who are joined for the Selenium, already they're paid registered. So try to give the message to me in the WhatsApp so that I can able to add you in my WhatsApp group where I am going to share the notes for you. So you want to give my WhatsApp number who paid already. Just give the your message. Just give the message to me with your batch timing so that I can able to add you into our WhatsApp group. So this is my WhatsApp number. Try to give the message to me so I can add. So introduction to automation testing and Selenium introduction is complete. That notes I will share with you. Okay. Yes, yes, I will send the content. So automation content and the introduction parts, what we discussed so far. Selenium. Okay.
Sir,
Hmm.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Ma.
Sir, I want to know like Java, about Java. Will you be
Hmm.
teaching Java also with the automation part,
Yeah,
sir?
sure. Yes, we are going to discuss the core Java concepts. So whatever required for automation tester, that portion will be covered. No need of prior knowledge of the Java to learn the Selenium. In the course will be covered it is.
That means, I mean, no separate classes for Java. Only in between the Selenium
Yes,
course will be teaching us.
yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then. Thank you, everyone. So Naras, you give the message to me in the WhatsApp so that I will go and send it. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow, so we are going to discuss the WebDriver and how to set up the Selenium environment in your computer. I will going to explain to you step by step. So, okay, then. Thank you. Everyone, see you tomorrow. Then onwards, it is practical sessions. Okay, bye. Thank you, everyone.